It's June 29th, 10 a.m.
On this episode of The Dugout with Doug Boyle, Stevie O determines where on the 1962 Mets bullpen Matt Barnes would fit best in. Also, Doug Boyle takes an in-depth look at stuff. Just regular stuff. It's not even the stuff that's baseball related. We don't even know what stuff it is. It's how we keep you, the viewer or listener, in suspense.
It's good stuff. It really is good stuff.
Oh, it is. It was going to be something that was going to be related to the Red Sox-Yankees London series, but then my brain just imploded. You just heard a brain implosion live on air. I'm your announcer, and now it's the Slug Out with Slug Sloyle and your host, Doug Boyle.
Yeah, I mean, the host is technically Bill Keevan, the 5-minute professor, who is not here this week. Most people don't know, but he did announce his run for the Democratic election. He's running in the primary. He's on the 13th table because there are 6,000 candidates. So his debate will be sometime around midnight on Sunday morning, I think. Steve,
I'm looking forward to hear the professor in the debate. I mean, we could finally get somebody with a little enthusiasm and actual knowledge.
The professor is the most interesting man in the world. He does everything all the time. He's there.
Well,
Brendan?
I think, we could give a definite rest in peace to the Beto O'Rourke campaign. How this guy came within a couple of points of beating the Zodiac Killer in last year's Senate election stuns me in light of his performance in the presidential campaign so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going on. It'll get better as it weeds down. But we're here to talk. We're here to talk a little bit about baseball. Any cool baseball things going on, or do you want to have a non-baseball story? I have a really short non-baseball story. It goes like this. It's about me eating a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. It goes like this. I ate a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. What do you think of that one, huh? Anyway,
geez.
No, it was written up in like the New York Times Weekend Review. Like there's some restaurant serving this like it's something awesome. And I went through all the stuff you guys went through. Like at first I was repulsed, then I bargained with it, then I finally came to accept that it was something. And I went and ate one. I'm going, I'd probably eat another one after I ate the one, and I've never eaten another one since. Because it's not that bad. Peanut butter is a miracle food. It's a miracle food.
I'd try it. It.
No, it's actually not bad. I mean, it'd be peanut butter banana, peanut butter apples, peanut butter cheese, peanut butter just about anything, right? But anyway, I do have a correction from last week. I know that Steve wasn't here.
10W30.
I may have implied that we were plotting to kill Stevie O last week, and we are in no way plotting to kill Stevie O. Just in case. The worry came around,
man. Bring it on.
We all know that it was done in jest, but then again, it hit me. What if he drives off a cliff in California, and they go back and go, just 8 days ago, Doug on the Dugout said that he and the professor were going to off him for the money that he stole from all those bank robberies you guys did, but we're not planning on killing him. We're not planning on killing him at all. Not today. Not a great day of baseball. I mean, I'm a Cub fan. I got to see Kimbrel get his first save on the same day the Cookie Monster sang the 7th inning stretch. It was a good week. And this week we got baseball in at least 2 continents.
You know what, Doug? I have to mention your campaign to get all the Brewers in the All-Star games. You're backfired on you. You got 3 Cubbies starting in the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's one of those things people can't. I mean, the guys in Boston were smart enough to not vote for J.D. Martinez to give him the time off and get Hunter Penson. But really, the All-Star game isn't what it used to be. All-Star game is now, I don't want to see my guys play. I mean, Javi Baez has to be there because he's probably the most interesting player in all of baseball. And he's easily in the top 3 if you want to argue with some other people. But he's just fun to watch. So he's got to be there. The other guys stay home. Chris Bryant, stay home. Anthony Rizzo, stay home. Get a hot dog.
Well, it's kind of like bad enough in the NHL where you skip out on the All-Star game, you get suspended for the next game afterward.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I want it to be legitimate skipping the time. I don't want them to be the jerks that just don't go. you know. But it'll be fun. I'm a big fan of the All-Star Game. It's the best All-Star Game of any of the major sports. And that's it. There's games going on in Europe, England, and Boston and the Red Sox, which means that right now the Yankees are not the most hated team in America.
Yeah,
the Dodgers get to take that mantle for a minute. That's cool.
Yeah, for the weekend the Dodgers are, because the San Francisco Giants really hate the Dodgers. No one hates the Cubs. I thought it might have been that for a second there.
Cardinals maybe.
They don't hate them like this. They don't hate them with the passion that the Yankees and the Red Sox have, or the Giants and the Dodgers have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People in the Midwest are too nice. That's what I think. Anyhow, so.
Hey, we got a couple people in the land up. I know Patrick Stroopy-Doo is going to be there. See Lou out there in Unholy Toledo. A couple of a real quick announcement. Normally the Saturday block is us, and we do all the transactions of their impact. And Lou Landers does the show at 12. For scheduling conflict, we had to do the show a little bit early. It's on tape, so if you want to hear the waiver wire on Saturday that you're used to, you go to LennyMelnickFantasySports.com. Go to the. It's Lucas Baseball. Actually, it's all Lou Sports website there, or you can probably get it on iTunes and Google Play. So we're the only show this weekend outside of that 11 p.m. fantasy hour. And I did a little research to find out what this is. Cam Giangrande, who's one of the old guys that does our show, he does the gambling show at 5 o'clock every day. It's his son. It does a show it's called Fantasy Hour, and the take on fantasy is it could be anything fantasy. So it could be fantasy baseball, it could be fantasy football, it could be Game of Thrones, it could be Star Wars, it could be hot girls, whatever. But it's a new millennial approach to this concept that we're doing because we're the old guys. I mean, I'm the old guy. You guys are young. But me and the professor, we're AARP members, and proud of it.
Right on. That sounds like a good take. Fantasy in everything, not just baseball, which I know, isn't for everybody. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. Lenny, of course, will be on at 9 o'clock on Monday morning with our flagship show. I do want to say this, he's on Sirius on the weekends, and tomorrow will be the last show they're letting him do about baseball, so he's not going to be on for a while. 7 to 10 o'clock on Sirius Network, on the Fantasy Network. If you want to call in, wish him good luck, say anything, 888-963-2682. 7 to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, he'd appreciate that. He's the wise guru behind all the stuff that we all pay our fealty to, our homage to. There's that. And on Tuesday night, there's going to be no easy roundtable on Tuesday at 10 because of the holiday. Probably won't be one this week or next weekend, maybe lower. If you want to get a hold of Steve, you get a hold of him on Twitter at Kinda Not a Joke. If you want to get a hold of me, you get a hold of me at Urban Baboon. If you want to get a hold of the 5 Minute Professor, the best thing is to follow him on the Facebook under the 5 Minute Professor. If you want to get a hold of Brendan, you trace an inverted pentagram in the ground, and you spill the blood of a she-goat, chanting his name several times. Does that work right, Brendan?
Well, basically anything that I've learned on how to appear just out of the blue at any of the followers that I do have, I learned from the 1978 TV movie Devil Dog, Hound of Hell. Which is a real movie. People starred in it. You're probably
quite good of it. I actually got somebody who listened to our show to send me an email, and it wasn't a question. I mean, actually, I do have a question, but it doesn't really fit our program. But he said that he likes my advice, and he compared me to, Tim McLeod, which is bizarre and wonderful, whatever. But I'm at the point now where we know we have people on iTunes and we have people on Google Play. I want you to review us if you can. That's the favor you do for now. If you like us, review us. If you like our show, give us a bunch of stars. Tell us how great we are. If you don't like our show, give us a bunch of stars. Tell us how we stink, but then tell your friends in your league to listen to us, because then they'll get bad advice from us and it'll help you out. It's a win-win for everybody. You guys are ready to go, right?
I like it. I think it's some good logic there on the ratings and reviews. We'll take them, good and bad.
In the chat room, Unholy Toledo says the White Sox fans hate the Cubs. I've never really felt that. I mean, I'm a Cubs fan by blood. I mean, by birth. And I come from a large Irish Catholic family. My dad is one of 7 brothers. There's another 5 sisters, I think. So there's a dozen, and I would say 87% of them. No, it's more than that. In that grouping, there's me, my brother, and my one cousin Kathleen, who are Cubs fans. Everyone else is Sox fan, and they don't really hate us. And we walk freely among the Sox fans. So maybe it's just my experience because we're good Irish Catholics that treat everyone equally, but maybe it's not.
Well, it's like how my dad's a diehard Bruins fan. He says me being a Habs fan was his greatest failing as a parental unit.
I always tell a story. My mom and dad got divorced in like 1972. I was 3 or so, and my mother moved us to Wrigleyville, and literally would take me out of school when I was a kindergartner, first grade, to go to the opening game, even though she didn't really care about baseball, because in her head she wanted to make sure that I did root for the Sox like my dad did. That's the true traditional divorce, where you set your kids against the other parent. And I've been cursed with that my entire life since.
I just have a feeling that this sort of our various sports fan lives could just end up being like some sort of grisly sports related version of Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin.
He grew up just like me. My boy was just like me. I love Harry Chapin, but on a different music show, I'd go over the entire catalog because he's one of my favorites. But that being said, we got most of the business out of the way. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? You want a peanut butter and pickle sandwich?
No, I'm good, thanks. I don't need an Epicac.
I'm getting a little hungry over here, so let's move on to some.
We're gonna go to the rundown. Brennan,
baseball show? What?
Baseball show. It's a new concept. On this day, the London Series Day, we're gonna do the rundown, and Brendan, you're gonna be reading it. All right? It's the rundown with Brendan.
Okay.
Brought to you
all right,
by.
Well,
this
issue.
Oh, you go.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You got one.
Oh, this issue of the rundown is brought to you by It. It puts the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told. It will put the lotion on its skin, or it'll get the hose again. Isn't that right, Precious? Yes, it gets the hose. Anyhow, injuries. Tim Anderson, Eddie Rosario, and Giancarlo Stanton, probably three of the biggest names this week. Anderson with an ankle sprain, ankle injury for Rosario, and Giancarlo Stanton is now playing the role of Mr. Glass this year, unfortunately. Or fortunately, if you're like the professor version of a Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
Knee injury out till August.
The Yankee injury, the perpetual injury to Stanton, keeps Clint Frazier in the mix and very fantasy eligible. With Eddie Rosario out, as a guy I talked about before, I kind of like as Luis Arias. He actually played left field and batted fourth last night for the Minnesota Twins. And I think that between this and a couple other injuries on the Twins, it keeps him valid in deeper leagues. He's one of those great contact guys that I love.
Do you ever wonder when this sort of injury happens and you know that someone's going to directly benefit from it personally? You have the camera pan out to the dugout for the Yankees and you see Frazier jumping up and down going, yes, I'm not going to Scranton for the next couple of months.
They made a classic movie out of just that situation. Where of course we're talking about Showgirls.
Of course. How could you forget?
It's how do you get to the top? You cap the other girl's legs. I mean, it's an everyman story, Showgirls is, which is made a little bit better by copious nudity, because nothing is made worse by naked women, right? Except for one thing, but I'll talk about that later. Anyway.
All right. Spencer Turnbull, starting pitcher for the Tigers, out with shoulder fatigue. Brad Peacock for the Astros with shoulder discomfort. And Jimmy Nelson for the Brewers with an elbow injury.
Yeah, the Jimmy Nelson one's most concerning because it's the same elbow that was just repaired. I don't have greater details on it, but that could be done for the season on Nelson. It could be 3 weeks, but it could be done for the season.
Someone who is definitely done for the season, Jordan Hicks, the reliever for the Cardinals, torn UCL. Looks like he is up for Tommy John surgery. Blake Trinan, the relief pitcher for the Oakland A's, with a right rotator cuff strain and a right shoulder impingement for Diego Castillo, the reliever out of Tampa.
Which opens up jobs in the